What's up, crew? How's everyone doing? It's your host, Brad Bodnarchuk. Welcome back to a brand new episode here on the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast. As always, super excited you guys are here, and we are here for week 5 of, I guess it's not week 5, it's number 5. It's number 5 of my half a dozen hospitality tips for you guys, the hospitality leaders out there that are listening. And you know what? The cool thing about these tips are it's really applicable to life. It's really applicable to any type of business. It's just the lens that I look through and where I come from is speaking to the hospitality space and the hospitality leaders that are out there. Week 5, my tip for you is go get the Pepsi or don't. Stick with me here. So one of my very first jobs in the hospitality industry, I was working at a place it was actually Wolfville, Nova Scotia, which is where I attended university at Acadia University. And this was only the second job I've ever had in hospitality. And I don't know where this came from, but I had this, unique desire let's call it a desire. This desire to go above and beyond for the guests that I was serving. So as many of you know, in the hospitality industry, when you're bartending or when you're serving, you have a section, and that section are the people that you look after and you're responsible for. So I think I've been working at this place for maybe a month, 2 max. And I had a table sit down and I welcomed them to the pub. I got them their menus, got them some waters, and came back to take their drink order. And I can't remember what it was, Coke or Pepsi, but it was one of the two. And at this pub, we only served one of the two. And this person, I believe it was a woman, she said that, I'm sure it was Pepsi. I really prefer Pepsi. So I said, you know what? We only actually serve Coke, but I'll see what I can do. And I remember, I think I must have told the manager or the bartender, I said, look after my tables for me. I'll be right back. And I busted out of the front door and I banged a hard left and I ran down to what was kind of a convenience store, or actually it was a drugstore. And I knew that they obviously had choices between Pepsi and Coke and Mountain Dew and 7-Up. So I purchased the Pepsi with my own money and ran back in and gave this woman a glass with ice and her Pepsi. And that for me has shown up so many times in how I care to run my business, how I care to look after people in my life, how I care to look after guests in my home. I always want to do whatever I can within my power to make them feel as comfortable as they possibly can and get them what they need. Now, here's the fine line, and I totally believe this to be true. It came up in last week's episode. It comes up for me all the time. Danny Meyer's setting the table, and Danny Meyer has shared that gone are the days where the customer is always right, and I completely agree, because if we're not focusing on our team and building them up, we really don't have a business. We need for our team to be the number one priority for us as hospitality leaders. But the interesting thing is as much as we're not saying the customer is always right, for me, I love doing whatever is within my power to make sure that they're happy. Now we need to, with that, when we say always get them the Pepsi, we need to make sure that we have our boundaries set and we understand what hills we're willing to die on. Is having your staff running out to get a Pepsi instead of a Coke or vice versa something that you want to have happen? Do you want to have your staff feel empowered enough or feel, I guess, they have the ownership to do something that goes above and beyond? And hey, if it's on their own dime and it's only going to positively impact the guest experience, I would say, you know what, welcome it. But be really clear on what you set as a standard for people that are coming into your business. Meaning, would it be fair if we go back to that pub for that woman to then come in again the next week and expect that I did the exact same thing? Maybe not, but I feel like it would be taking advantage of, my ability to go and buy her a $2 pop when, could we have something else to drink or what it may be. But the point is, what are we willing to and what are we not willing to do for our guests? And I think if it's in your if it's in your capabilities, you do whatever the heck you can to make your guests feel as comfortable, make it as memorable as you can, pardon me. So if it is running out to get a different bottle of beer, if you run out of wine for some reason, like happened to me actually just a couple months ago at one of my charity dinners that we did, the guests were enjoying themselves, and unfortunately we ran out of wine. I think it was just around the last course or at the last course. And I made a call. I said either we could do it this way, meaning leave it as it is, or I could send out one of the team to go down the street and buy some wine. And really all I'm working to do is impact that experience of the guests. So what do I want the lasting memory to be? And for me, when I ran and got that woman the Pepsi, or for me, when I asked for this to the volunteers or the staff to go get the wine, it was, how do I want to make people feel? And I think that's the question we need to be asking ourselves in this industry. How do I want to make people feel all the time? Constantly checking in with that. How do you want to make people feel? How do you want to make them feel? What is the vibe you want to create? What is the atmosphere you want to create in what you're working to do? What does your concept allow? Now, when I say get them the Pepsi or don't, here is the dichotomy, I guess, or the interesting line that's being drawn in our industry. And I actually am a fan of it when it's done correctly. So there's a coffee shop here in town that does this. There's numerous restaurants that do this as well. It's not just this coffee shop, and it's not just coffee shops. There's many concepts that are doing this in the hospitality industry. And this is one for me that I really appreciate their stance. I just wonder if there's a more conducive way to go about it. So here's how it works for this place. So this place is known for their coffee, and people they really search them out from locals to visitors, and they don't offer milk or sugar on the side. They make lattes. I'm sure they make cappuccinos. They make other coffee drinks that have milk in it. But if you order a black coffee, they do drip coffee. If you order black coffee, they're not willing to serve you milk and or sugar, because they feel, from what I understand, they feel like it ruins the product. It ruins the experience. It's not what it's meant to be. The finished product then changes. So they're choosing a hill to die on, which is we are not going to serve you milk or sugar or cream or sugar with our coffee. You're going to have it as it is. And if you don't like that, you can leave. And it's bold, and I like the boldness of it. I just wonder if in doing it, we can do it in a more, I guess, conducive way to making people feel like, look, we're going to do whatever we can to make you feel comfortable, but we're not going to go against what is so, ingrained in our concept or ethical for us. So for example, say that woman wanted a Pepsi, but the Pepsi had to be from a fridge in a different city. Well, I'm not going to hop in a car and go travel to a different city just to buy a Pepsi from a different fridge. So there's certain, like I said, certain hills you need to define which ones you're going to die on. I guess that's basically what this coffee shop is doing, and other concepts like it. So for example, restaurants that have a menu and you can't change anything on the menu, meaning you don't like cheese, sorry, there's cheese on the menu, or there's cheese in that dish, and we're not going to change the dish. I do appreciate that a bit, but I wonder if there's a way that we can communicate that to our guests to say, look, again, we are willing to do whatever we can within these parameters to make you feel as comfortable as you can and get you a product that's going to work for you, but we're unwilling to break. So we'll bend as much as we can, but we're not willing to break. And I think that's something that I work with my clients a ton on, is the communication. So how do you communicate that to your guests or to your customers when they come in and they order that black coffee and they go, where's the cream and the sugar? Oh, we don't do that. Then we have to help them understand why. Once they understand why, then they can make a decision whether or not they want to stay or want to go. And I feel like when I've witnessed this happen at this coffee shop with customers, it can come across a bit, I don't want to say pompous, but a bit Yeah, let's go with pompous. Kind of like, we don't do that here. And if you don't like it, then get out. And sure, that can be your kind of mindset with it if that helps you. But let's work on those soft skills a bit to kind of do what we can to say, hey, look, you ordered a black coffee. We don't actually like to serve milk or sugar with our coffees, this coffee in particular, because of this. Help them understand what that is. Or then give them an option of, be like, you know what, a lot of people come in here and they want to use cream or sugar and we're unable to do that. But what I recommend for you is maybe try this drink. I think it's more in line of what you're looking for. And you know what? If you don't like it, it's on me. That to me is the difference of taking someone that could be someone that's walking out of your business with a, pardon the pun or cliche, with a bitter taste in their mouth, or going, you know what? That was amazing. You guys don't do that usually. You've done it for me and you've helped me understand why you don't do that. I'm going to come back again, or I'm going to tell my friends, or whatever it may be. So for example, with that woman who I got the Pepsi for, I don't think that she would weeks later come back and say, I want a Pepsi again. She would understand, but she would then go, you know what you did for me as a guest went above and beyond my expectations. I really appreciate it. And then ideally they sing the praises of the business and hopefully me as well, and come back and spend copious amounts of money and tip like crazy. That's the idea. I'm not sure what the tip was like, actually. I'm sure it was pretty good. So my tip for you guys today, the fifth tip, is go get the Pepsi or don't. So choose what it is that you're doing. How far are you willing to bend but not break in your business? Are you willing in the middle of a shift to run out and get someone a different product than the one that you offer? Or are you so adamant on how you cook your steak or play your music or have the lights or serve your coffee? If that's you, stay in your lane and stay there, and people will respect that. I promise you. But please do whatever you can to make your guests and your customers feel as welcome as they possibly can be in your space at that time. That's it for That's it for tip number 5 of 6 of the half a dozen hospitality tips. Before I let you guys go efficiently, please go over to bradbodnarchuk.com and check out the COE course. That's our brand new course that's just dropped. It is an 8-week program for hospitality leaders. If you are a hospitality leader, you're serious about getting some positive change in your business and in your life, and you're committed to doing the work, you need to be in this course. So it's an 8-week course. Head to bradbodnarchuk.com or head over to hadhospitality.com and find the link there. Book an appointment with me to figure out if this course is something that can help you. If it is, we'll get you set up in this course, get you on your way. And I promise you, this is going to be one of the courses that not only really helps you with what you're doing as a hospitality leader and your business, but it's going to really impact the hospitality industry in a really positive way. I am absolutely sure of it. So check out the COE course, the Culture of Excellence course. Get in there while you can. And that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you do, your support means the absolute world to me. I cannot believe it's 2020, and I am so excited about the year ahead. Thank you guys for supporting me in this podcast. You know what to do. Until next time, guys. Be good and do good. I'm out.